All right, so I just coming to you guys with an update of my comp book for comp book 2020. I haven't really done much in it besides prepping the pages, but that's kind of honestly been more fun for me at this moment. So I'm really taking advantage of that, and I'll spend hours just prepping pages and adding to it. Now there was distortion here with the as I went and prepped pages and stuff, and the water kind of reacted with that pen. I'm not using this pen anymore, but I don't mind the distortion. It just kind of adds to it. I'm trying not to be perfect in this book and roll with the punches and roll with the fact that these things are going to get messy. It's going to look weird. It's going to distort some things. And you know what? Fine. That's just going to add to the book. So I think that's the mindset I'm just trying to keep with this. And I added a Google page here because I have Graves' disease and that often leaves me with brain fog. I'm getting older too, so it doesn't help. But you know, I often have ideas or things I want to look into, and I absolutely will forget to make note of them or do look into them. So I just made a list here. When I get the idea, when I get the stuff that I want to research more, I need to write it on this list, and it's just I have a spot for it, a designated spot for it to so that I keep on task. So I think that's something that helped me. And these are just pages you've seen before. And I like being able to list like works of art that people have done or topics or vocabulary within this. And I do it on a page. So like here, I put famous authors and I wrote like something they've done. Now this is just a list, but I go back to this list and say, I pick an author and I look into them more, and I'm able to do that because I have that's a reference back. So I like the opportunities of being able to dive more into something because I have these ideas and references as I go along. And here I did my first biopic of an author, and I used George Orwell. I made a pocket here, which I have some things that I printed and stuff for the book, but I'm not quite there yet. So I have a space to store it. Just a little information. And these are some new pages. So here it's just a couple of quotes, and then I just kind of think about the topic of love and how writers are so obsessed with incorporating love. Like that's the ultimate story, right? So why is it? Is it simply because it's something that's like, you know, indescribable, like it's not tangible, it's out of reach? Could it be because it's a universal thing, like everyone knows the concept of love in some way? So it's just some ponderings I had when I was thinking about the topic of love and writing. So I decided just to have some references to that. And then there was a TED talk about how your brain falls in love, and then it explores some neurotransmitters, but then it ultimately found that men fall in love when they reach a level of commitment, and women fall in love generally after sex. At least that's what the talk explored and found in their research. So I just thought that was interesting, so I just included that in there. This is from a Reader's Digest page, some vocabulary, so I just kind of made a note of which ones I knew, which ones I didn't know. Just a nice page to refer back if I'm looking for a certain word. And then this is all just me prepping the book. You can get a quick look at it as some of the progress. Not all the pages, but you know, most of them are pretty prepped. Have something on the page, tea or paint in some way, maybe both. I try to do some, you know, borders and doodling and stuff like that, just a little bit on the pages to give it some interest. Probably do more once I actually use the page, but I just figured, you know, included some things like here. I put a little cluster here. I don't know why it's not. There you go. Focusing. And then I try to add color to my, I figured out if I want to add color, I want to keep the tea look, but add color with the tea. So I think that's like what's been pulling me lately. So it's pretty cool to look at. This is just an ink pad that scraped around. Some of these pages might stick together. I have to run the blow dryer on them again. So like this, I have tea. And I also may have done some gesso because they're similar. And then I just took an ink pad and just rubbed it around and added color. Now that could happen with the ink pad, that could happen with the watercolor, that could happen with just regular watered down acrylic paint. So that's how I added color in there, because I didn't want it just to be colorful. I wanted to have some elements with the tea in there as well. So here's some purple. And I think that brightens it. It makes it look interesting, but it also keeps that like vintagey, like tea dyed look that I was going for. So you see, this is just watercolor I splashed on it. And some pink. And I like that effect. I like the effect of tea dyed and color. I was wondering if I was going to add color to this book or if it was going to be just tea dyed, but I like this, so I think this works. And then of course I went in with some more purple there and some writing, which I think is really cool. And now I'm just flipping through and just showing some of this distortion and prepping that I've done on these pages and how beautifully chunky and wrinkly the pages are. This book is really getting thick, and it's just on me prepping these pages. So I haven't really done much actual recording in them. This is a napkin that I did with tinted Mod Podge on top and some words here. And these aren't done. Let's skip over that whole section. Then we got some pink, and then we have a lovely pocket that I made here. If I can get it. Hold on one second. There you go. It's a lovely little pocket that I made. I'm going to put some pockets in it. I feel like this is more of a junk journal than a comp book, the comp book thing, but I'm going to kind of go back to some of those basics and add those in. But I love the idea of having pockets because I may not always write it directly on a page. Maybe I made a quick note or something and I can put it in those pockets. So I always like trying to have pockets when I can. I think this is the end. And then this is where I started my index page. This is some of the topics I've done so far. I'm not going to write it directly on the page yet because I'm still getting topics and things that I'm going. I think I'm going to write it later once I alphabetize the list. So right now I'm just using sticky notes for it. And then you can see here I did some thread again, some string. And then over here I did some ribbon. I just like the effect, like, see, when I close it, there's that thread and ribbon and all these tabs. The tabs don't signify anything specific. I just wanted tags to come out of the page just to make it look cool, like so you can see it this side. Isn't that cool looking? And then look how chunky it is. It's really chunky. So that's pretty dope. And then I just glued some paper on the index page, so I just flip right through that page where that bookmark type thing is, embellishment is, and it's right to the index. Even though I know it's the last page, it was just something else I just wanted to add to it. And as you can see, my book is darker. But I like it. I like the grunginess. I just, I think I want to go back with a little tiny bit of white paint and just rub some on some areas just to lighten it up a bit. But right now, for what it is, I like it. And I already showed you this, but you can see again. And I don't care if it gets because I'm that messy crafter that, just crafts and does everything at once and doesn't really care about trying to clean to the next part. You can see the tables are absolutely disgusting looking because of all the gesso and paint and stuff I've done to it. But I don't mind that. So if these covers pick that up, it just adds to it. As I don't really worry about it. But sound off in the comments. Have you guys made much progress in your comp books? Let me know. And what kind of things are you exploring in your comp book? Because I'm still, I have a plan of motion and I have some ideas, but I just need more focus, I think. And that helps when I look at other people's for inspiration and we discuss about it. So leave your comments below of what kind of things you're exploring in your comp book, how far you've gotten, what things you've included, because that helps me kind of progress in mine as well. and what you think of it. I think it's coming out pretty awesome. I just need to actually start using it now. But I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I think because it's a comp book, it's cheap, and I'm not worried too much about it. Like I'm taking more risks. I don't care if the pages stick together. I don't care if there's like if it's like kind of getting messed up or whatever, because I don't think of it as messed up. I think of it as character and it's adding to the book. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I used a nice book. So the fact that this is a comp book is letting me really push my creativity and just getting messy and playing around and not worrying about perfection. And I think that's the whole point of using the comp book too, because you just want to be able to dive into the topic. You want to dive into the creativity without stressing about it. So I'm really enjoying this project and working with the composition book. So I just really enjoyed that. So thank you, Dede Willingham, for suggesting this topic and this type of book and this project, because it's been really fun and helpful for me as well. All right, guys, that's all I have today. I just wanted to give you a quick update of what's been going on in my comp book. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, just, leave a thumbs up if you want. And remember to stay creative. Thank you. Bye.